Here we see a change to the advertiser's name, Kings Markham being the location for some of the Ruth Rendell stories. These featured the actor George Baker, and here he is with former editor Terry Viney.
Hello, my name's Julie Fremantle and I sell the advertising for Romsey Advertiser. I'm just having a look at what adverts I've got for this week. That was advertising for last week, so this is what we've got so far for next week.
Andrew, how do you normally conduct an interview?
In a friendly, joking manner.
And that gets you by, does it?
It gets you the best results of the lot. Whether it's the police or whoever, they know me for my cheek.
But it is a busy life, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Very busy. How can you be in so many places all at once?
You're not. The busiest time, I suppose, is in the evenings and some of the afternoons with Test Valley Borough Council meetings and Romsey Town Council meetings as well. And you get days like Romsey Show when you're out from 9 right through to 6 o'clock in the evening and after, so you get busy.
Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. My name's Kathy Rogers. I'm the new editor of the Romsey Advertiser. I took over on February the 1st after Terry, he retired after 41¼ years of the paper, although he's still here helping us. Lovely story. First week I was here as editor, a lady called in and said, "What's all of this about a new editor? Who is she? I want to know all about it." Or no, sorry, who is it? I want to know all about it. A lady, it's come from the Chronicle, 32. Well, that really is the thin end of the wedge. I'm not sure if I've done a good job or not, but I do my best. For the record, I actually am a Hampshire girl. I was born and brought up in Winchester, and I worked for the Hampshire Chronicle for 10 years before coming to the Advertiser. So I do know a little bit about the area.
Wonderful.
Also, who comes to work with me is Evie, my dog. I think she's probably a lot more popular than I am.
Hello,
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
You're okay.
Morning, Rex.
Smile, you're okay.
It's an Audrey Oxford. You may remember her. She and her husband Tom were founder members of the Romsey Art Group. And that was one of her very first paintings that she exhibited.
These files contain advertiser copies that date right back to 1900, although the first copy reads Andover. In 1901 you had your own masthead, you say?
Yep.
That's a fairly heavy one.
It is. I'm busily engaged on a super project. Well, at least I think it's a super project anyway. The MD, through Kathy, has asked me to do a history of the paper. This is a printout of what I've done so far. We're up to about 30 pages so far. We've got to the year 1900, believe it or not, so that only leaves another 98 to do. And I'm also going to provide the photographs for it. The use of the night carts in Romsey was superseded by the installation of a system of sewers. Now that strikes me as being a rather apt title. Make a reference in the opening pages of the book to what I consider to be the best jape that ever occurred in the town. April the 1st, 1957, to find a set of footprints leading from the Palmerston statue across to the town hall, down the steps of the men's toilets. They were placed as if the person had been travelling quickly. The ones going back to the statue were much more leisurely. Well, the town council, as you can imagine, hit the roof because only 5 days later they were due to receive a visit from the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh on the occasion of the granting of the 350th granting of the Charter of Incorporation by James I in 1607. And it came about, it was hatched by some senior boys at Embley Park School. painted these footprints on the marketplace. The names of the taxi driver who assisted them, and that was the late Mickey Pierce, the good prankster, and he would have been involved in it.
Local man Mr. Jewell brings a concern to the advertiser office as he speaks to Truda.
Along Hampshire highways. Yeah, well, it's especially from the county council saying how good their services are and they're getting all these wildflowers. They've sprayed all the verges up the A36 this year, killed all the wildflowers, and when I phoned them, they handed me on to their subcontractors, and their subcontractors said, oh yes, this is council policy, to spray all.
It was our... Who would leave his equipment in the street like this, unless it was our friendly window cleaner? Hello, Albert.
I'm going to be famous.
Yes.
Right.
Albert, the famous face for Romsey, thinks he's going to be made famous.
Yeah, very.
Some rare and valuable treasures turn up at Cambridge Antiques. But what could this be, if not some Indian import? And what part do you play?
You'll see in a minute, Mr. Punch.
Mr. Punch, yeah. Well, that's marvellous, thank you. The children are all gathered here this Saturday morning.
It's nice to see you this morning. It's a lovely day, isn't it? The sun's singing and the birds are shining. Oh, good. We've got to say hello. Say hello. We're going to say hello to the Ticklish Allsop Show. What it says on there, Ticklish Allsop Show. It's so good to see you all here. I say 1, 2, 3, and you shout out your first name. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's good. Who's called Stinker? I heard Stinker. Reach out sideways like this. Put your arm around somebody and give them a little kiss. And say, hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to Romsey. Isn't that great? This is part of the special festival. Breakfast. You've got dinner. Supper. Okay, on the top there's my Ted on the top. My Ted.
No, your head.
It's a Ted, isn't it?
No.
No, lungs. Your uncles. There he is. Okay. Let's sing his song anyway. We've got it sorted out. We've got to sing that's the way, that's the way, that's the way to do it. Everybody sing today, that's the way to do it. That's the way, that's the way, that's the way to do it. Everybody sing today, clap your hands if it comes. That's the way, that's the way, that's the way to do it. Everybody sing today, that's the way to do it.
What's all the grown-ups doing here? I'm all out for children.
Hello, very nice to see you. Oh, you'll hold the baby, be a good boy, while I go shopping. I won't be long. So, bye-bye. I'm going to walk you wherever that is. That's the way, that's the way, that's the way to do it. Everybody sing today. Clap your hands if it comes. That's the way, that's the way, that's the way to do it. Everybody sing today. That's the way to do it.
I think the clothes are original, do you?
It's a pottery weekend course with Nat Lewis and Geraldine Trayhorne.
I'm sorry, I'm being awfully rude and shoving you for something. It should be.
Well, you won't have to wipe the bottom of this one.
Get it in. And get it to that level and get it out fairly quickly.
I'm not, I was going to say, what's that?
Got it? I get it. Well, dry brush it afterwards with the gold.
I don't know exactly.
Or
I don't want to do that.
model making.
Do you know how to take it?
You won't leave again. Yeah.
But then to perhaps here a long hair.
Let's hope some of these works appear at the autumn exhibition.
Hi David.
Hi.
How much do you hope to raise here?
£10,000.
£10,000 for the charities?
Yes.
Various charities?
Mostly for Romsey Hospital.
Now I'm very pleased indeed to hand this mic to the Mayor.
Romsey Mayor Max Buckmaster.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I first of all welcome every one of you here today. It's wonderful to see so many people supporting the efforts of Rotary Test and Romsey Lions, who are doing a magnificent job to raise money for charities this afternoon.
Currently £1 million is the target before the end of this millennium, before the end of the century. We'd like to raise £1 million. We don't expect to do that today, but anything you can give towards the charity, as well as having fun, is very well appreciated. For my part of that, what we're going to do is set up a stall where I'll sit and have a photograph taken with anybody. If you want a photograph taken with me,
Lady Romsey is president of the Romsey Hospital Appeal, and here she appears with John Burgess. Here the ever-enthusiastic Dr. John White, who is chairman of the Romsey Hospital Appeal. On the left, Nick Lockyer, and he is president of the Rotary Club of Romsey Test.
Here we go, cowboys, alright? Cowboys, get them ready. And the crowd, come on, cowboys. What do you say? Oh, good. Very high pitch voices. Here we go, Poppy. Alright, hop, hop, left, hop, hop, hop. Here we go, diagonal. Alright, oh, right, sweetheart. Keep it going. Here we go, diagonal. Alright, hop, hop, and left, hop, hop. Here we go, diagonal. Back behind.
Here they come.
Hi Tony, what do you think you're doing then?
Delighted to see you here. Are you selling Christmas cards inside?
Architect Neil Beasley, always ready to show his sartorial elegance, together with Gordon Rogers of Town Planning.
It's nice to see you both.
Here is the famous artist and cartoonist Norman Thelwell with his wife Rona, who live at Timsbury near Romsey. Then enter the band of the old cadets.
Come on, hey! Not Bobby!
One of Romsey's real characters, Pete Davis, doing some stone carving. Good morning, Pete.
Oh God, I'd never heard of it.
This is intricate stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll be finishing the Romsey show.
Thank you very much.
In time for the show, I see.
No, that's all right. I just think it's so hard.
Fine.
I've seen it there.
Shouldn't very argue it
Chris doing his turning.
It's actually in reverse at the moment, so that's why it's pulling the dust up over the top. It's gone back the other way.
I think I'm dancing tonight.
Great.
So it's yet another wet and windy day this summer, one of the wettest on record. June, Rolf Harris appears with a television crew to meet Ian and Virginia Richardson in Romsey.
Back to Virginia's surgery for their operations. Hobo was the first into the theatre to have his front teeth removed.
So these teeth can grow between 5 and 7 inches a year, so they do need regular attention.
So how long before he would have starved to death, do you think?
Another 4 weeks or so.
Why do you actually have to take them right out? Couldn't you just clip them?
Yes, you can just clip them, but this way means that he'll never have to have them clipped again. They have 22 teeth at the back, which they use with a chewing motion, so he'll be able to eat perfectly well.
And will that heal up quite happily?
It will heal up very quickly.
Next it was Emily's turn.
Yes, that's the julep. Big double chin.
Or is it a fairly common thing with rabbits?
It's fairly common, particularly in female rabbits. It's hormonal, but not all of them get anything like as big as theirs. It's a pet rabbit problem. I think they tend to eat too much and be inactive, but we'll get on with anaesthetising her now.
Okay.
Now we've clipped it up.
I was expecting a great big bulbous fatty thing, but it's just like a flat piece of skin, isn't it? So what's the plan? You just cut that off?
Make an incision there.
You cut away all the excess skin.
There we are. There's the big flap of skin we've removed.
Sure.
Now the stitching up begins.
Would I be right in guessing that you're a bit of a rabbit enthusiast?
Yes, I've kept them since I was a child, and keep them now as well.
Is your love of rabbits one of the reasons why you do all this voluntary work?
That's right. Rescue societies need as much help as they can get, and this is just my little part towards it.
So that's it?
Yes, we finished. Good boy. There we are.
Well, he certainly looks happy now.
Come on then, Emily. There you go. How's that?
Straight into it.
Straight into the food. There we go.